See, when you're awake, other people notice. If I'm the first one up and I'm flipping on the lights in my house and I'm turning on the blender, the rest of my house is waking up. When someone is awake, all right, when someone is awake, everyone else takes notice. Here's what I want you to do. You hear that alarm clock go off. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to hit the snooze button. I want you to silence it. I'm gonna silence mine right now. And here's what I want you to think about. As we silence those alarms that are going off in our life, how many times do we do that to Jesus on a daily basis? How many times do we hear the voice of God just speak quietly to us? And we say, God, I'm gonna hit the snooze button. God, I'm gonna get to that later. God, I'll get to that when I'm older. God, I'll get to that when my life's more put together. God, I'll get to that when I don't sin as much. Whatever our excuse is. And what would look different in our world if instead of hitting the snooze button, we jumped to our feet, we woke up, we rised up, we stirred up, and we said, God, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. And so here's my challenge for you, church. It's not just to sit back this weekend and celebrate what God's done in the lives of our students. It's to ask him, what is he awakening in you? And are we willing to surrender to what he has for us, or are we just gonna continue to stay where we are? Here's how I wanna close this service, church. I wanna invite each of you to take me up on a challenge this week. I'm gonna challenge you to every day this week to set an alarm at 5:14, the same time as that reference in the book of Ephesians. And you can choose whether that's 5:14 a.m. or p.m., depending on how much of an overachiever you are, all right? But here's what I'll invite you to do. Every day this week at 5:14, when that alarm goes off, I want you to stop and I want you to pray, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. And just pray that prayer and see what God stirs inside of you. See what God wakes up inside of you. And let's move to a place from spiritual drowsiness to spiritual life. Let's move to a place where we're sleepwalking through our services and sleepwalking through our day, and wake up and rise up and take hold of the things that God has for us. Church, Pastor Tom mentioned it earlier. Our students are leading an awakening. And they came back on mission to wake us up. And the only question is, how will we respond?